Hey, greetings YouTube. Performance reviews, where I give you the review from the technician's point of view. And I have a Roidmi cordless vacuum cleaner. I know that because it says that on the box. And if you've been following the channel for any time, vacuum technicians don't like a few things that this machine has. 1, it's cordless. 2, it's bagless. 3, my own personal stigma, I don't like stickbacks. That being said, somebody at Roidmi thought it was a good idea to send me one of these, so I'm going to review it for you. Stay tuned. The Roidmi X20 sure does come with a lot of accessories, or at least it appears that way. One thing that's missing from all this great stuff is an adapter. Having an adapter to make this work on standard accessories, meaning there's no way to hook up a floor tool or an aftermarket wand of any kind, or even something as simple as your favorite dusting brush. Just, there's no way to hook that up. So that's one thing that's missing, and from what I can tell, there's not one on the market. Now, if you're watching this in the future and there is one in the market, please send me a link. I'd love to see it. So let's go over everything this comes with, because it's a lot of stuff. So they give you the handheld unit. Okay, that's fine. They give you an extra filter. Now, what they don't give you is an extra HEPA filter, the exhaust filter. They say that will last the life of the product. As we know, I have never found that to be true, but they are available and they are easy enough to change and get to. So having an extra filter, though, pre-motor filter right out of the box, is a big plus. They also give you a device for cutting any hair or for brushing off the filter in case you're not using your other vacuum to vacuum this off. So it's all good. Everything is nice. The wand is metal despite being painted very nicely. And the construction of all this stuff is very solid. They also give you a hose. I wish they'd given it like a carrying strap or something, because holding this and manipulating this is kind of awkward. Now, this has its own crevice tool built in on the end, and then you can plug in the dusting brush. So all that's pretty well thought out. The dusting brush, while we're on the subject, has these multiple clicks where it indexes, so that's kind of nice. And for some reason, there are lint pickers. Now, there is no traditional upholstery tool with this. You do, however, get this little motorized Stair upholstery tool, which I really like. I think this is a good add-on to this machine, especially at the price level. I think that's a really nice accessory to have. The other thing they're going to give you in the X20, and as you can see, I've been fully testing this, and certain things like this, bigger stuff, is just not going to pick up. Again, that's probably borderlining neglect for this kind of product. So I, in testing, didn't really find any reason to use the soft roller, which I'll show later on in the video. But if you do need to get in there, that is all very easy to get in there. The other thing that I'm not going to include in this review is the wet mop feature. This magnetizes to this, and you can use this as a wet mop. I didn't have a lot of success with this, so that could be a subject of its own video, and I'm not going to bore you with that, but don't expect to really use the wet mop with this. Just keep that in mind when using this. I'm going to talk about turning this vacuum on, because that's one of the more peculiar things on here. So you have your LED power indicator lights, a clog light, and a Bluetooth light. So pressing it once, nothing happens immediately. You have to either hold it or tap it twice for it to turn on. Then in the rear, you have your power control, and I believe when you hold it, you're supposed to be able to hit this with your thumb, is the idea behind that. So keep that in mind when using this machine. In case you didn't know, this vacuum comes with an app, and a lot of the Chinese manufactured vacuums are these days. So what's interesting is the app will tell you if the dust cup is full, which it indeed is very, very full. It will also tell you your current battery charge, and in this case, the standby time, which I thought was kind of a cool feature. Now, if I turn this on, you can see this change. And my current run time is 6 minutes. Really kind of cool. So filter light, all that. Now, in terms of the filter, it says 74% remaining. Let's take a look at the filter and see if that's accurate. So again, the dust cup is full. It sensed that, so I was happy to see that. Well, it definitely needs to be cleaned. Interesting. Alright, I just took this off the charger, and we're going to test its working vacuum. You can see this is empty, brand new. I turned it on really once just to try it. I've managed to fit some sort of adapter here, so let's see what it does. I'm going to make sure it's on high. And I want to clarify, this is not a replacement for your full-size vacuum cleaner. You can see just how narrow this is compared to a normal nozzle. And I'm not endorsing one vacuum cleaner or another. Part of the reason why I say this is not a replacement for a full-size vacuum cleaner is we can see your normal vacuum bag out of, this one happens to be a Miele. And we take a look at the capacity, so to give you an idea, volume difference of what we expect. Also, this being bagless, you know, with a bag you just seal it up and change it. That's very, very easy, right? With something like this, we now have to open this, clean this out, go clean the filter out, and empty it. So that makes this a little bit more of a chore. And from my experience, at least in my size home, even just using this in the kitchen, I have to empty this every time. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is our pickup test. Breakfast cereal, flour, cat litter, and then some fresh animal hair. We're going to do it first with the regular brush roller, and we're going to be doing all these tests on high. A little bit of embedded animal hair, but it did pretty good for a cordless vacuum. Definitely better than some of the others I've tested in the cordless stick category. Let's see what that picked up. So that actually, you can see, left some animal hair in the machine. So I think that would actually kind of spread it. I can see some animal hair on the carpet. No cat litter. So that got the surface stuff. And again, I know the fluffy brush roller is meant for hard floor, but I want to try it and see how it worked on carpet, because occasionally you might not want to switch the rollers all the time, even though it is easy enough to do. We're going to try this on high with the fluffy brush roller first. A little bit of flour left behind, that's to be expected. And as we saw with the last test of the fluffy brush roller, a lot of animal hair does get stuck to these fluffy brush rollers and around here, so that's a little bit of a concern for me. Now let's change the brush roller out and try the other one. All right, we're going to try it on high with the traditional brush roller. I guess it's traditional, it doesn't really have bristles on all sides, it has squeegees on two sides. A little bit of flour left behind as well. Not as much animal hair accumulated in here. So I would say, just from on the highest setting, the regular brush roller seems to do better than the fluffy brush roller, which is counterintuitive to how it was designed. But again, I think they were just copying other manufacturers who use this. As I've stated before, I don't think that this is nearly as good as just a straight suction tool on the end of a vacuum. So one way manufacturers get away with publishing these higher battery lives is they have a low, medium, and a high setting. I just did the carpet pickup test and the bare floor pickup test in the high setting. We're now going to do a medium setting and a low setting, and I want to see the difference and show you the difference. away. It's hard to see, but it actually kicks some of the cat litter back. And we can see it now dragged a lot more hair and stuff. Let's see if anything was left behind. Oh, there's some cat litter. So, I don't know if you can see it in this light, but there was a little bit of, there's a little bit of flour left behind, and it snow plowed a little bit of the cat litter. Now let's do the worst case scenario and try this side on low. And again, we've determined that the brush roller really doesn't affect this test too much. Oh, there's some cat litter, some breakfast cereal, and yeah, it feels sticky where the flour was. Yeah, it left some flour behind. No pet hair. And what's interesting is, I think that gave it time on the lower setting. It's not knocking as much pet hair out of the unit. So it actually is working all right for pet hair. So we're going to try the medium setting on carpet and then the lowest setting. See already that where it just kind of snow plowed some animal hair. Yep. So on medium, some cat litter and breakfast cereal. Oh, there's all sorts of cat litter that's snow plowed around in the carpet. So I think using this on medium, I would conclude that this will grind dirt into your carpet. So if you are using this on carpet, make sure you use it on high. Talk about stair cleaning. So what I've done is put some breakfast cereal here and some animal hair here, and we're going to do half of it with this. And you can see it does pick up stuff well, but it doesn't really, despite having these holes in here, you can see that it kind of snow plowed a little bit of breakfast cereal in there. Now, not to worry, they've included a crevice tool. Let's be a little bit more honest here. I'm not going to want to hold the whole thing and do stairs, especially when this seems to be almost the perfect width for doing stairs. Which it does a pretty darn good job. Again, it does leave a little bit of stuff in the corners. I still can't get to some of my taller sections up here with this. It's a little short, so a standard 1.25 inch attachment accessory would really be nice for when we do want to get up high and around. In terms of the vacuum getting under things, it seems to be pretty good about that. It actually fits almost all the way under before you rotate it. Feature of this vacuum is the LED light, which I rather like, and when it gets dark, it will turn that light on automatically from a sensor. So I find that really, really cool that it turns on and off all by itself, and I think that's something a lot of other vacuum companies could do. Well, I just wanted to state that the charging situation is interesting with this machine, and having to put this adapter on really limits the plugs that I can put it in. Something you can see is that this is all very loose and finicky. Part of that's because it's a universal adapter. Part of it's just so big that this just kind of wiggles around like so. So keep that in mind. Plugging this in is going to be kind of limited. One other strange thing I want to mention is the holder on this appears to be heavy duty, but it doesn't actually hold it to the wall. It's just magnetic to keep it upright. So it actually has to balance. That just helps it balance on the wall. So that's kind of a strange thing. I ended up just charging it and using it kind of like an old school cell phone where you would just plug it in right there, and that's what I've been doing. To give some final thoughts, and thank you all for watching this. I want to make it perfectly clear that these hand vacs and stick vacs right now in 2020 are not a replacement for your full-size vacuum. So if you had to choose between one or the other, definitely get just a full-size vacuum. Now, if you're looking for something for quick pickups, or you have a multi-story house and you're just trying to clean up one area of your house occasionally, this is definitely a solution for you. It's one of the better hand vacs I've used in terms of build quality and just its lightness and ease of usability. Again, I still don't like this form factor. I find this heavy in the hand, especially when we compare this to a traditional canister vacuum or something like that. So thanks for watching. I'm going to be giving a long-term review on this coming up, so stay tuned for that. I'll also do a repair tutorial. The current price, I'm going to put a link below to Amazon. You can check out the current price on the X20. But as of right now, filming, I think you're pretty much getting what you pay for at this price point. So as always, please like, subscribe, and best of all, share. And if this really helped you, go check out our Patreon.